Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the Valiant Esports community today to see the matchup of Blue Moon versus KineTiX Esports. And today, my co-caster is gonna be Munch. Munch, how are you doing? How are you feeling before the match?
Hey everyone, I'm doing great personally, and I'm very excited to see the matches ahead. I really want to see um Kinetics here coming back and getting some points on the board perhaps. And I also want to see more of Blue Moon. I've only seen Blue Moon play once before, and I think it was against Zingers. And Zingers hard matchup, we don't expect many people to be beating Zingers. So I really want to see what they can do here against Kinetics.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, I remember watching a Kinetics game a few days ago. They were in a tough spot, and I feel like part of that was because they didn't take much space, and their strategy was just not very good. So I want to see them try to change up what they did, change up their strat, and maybe that will let them win. And honestly, for Blue Moon, I feel like Arc Michael has been really good recently, and it's been great to watch him play. He's been very good, and I feel like that's gonna be also that's gonna be my favorite player to watch today. But I mean, on the maps that we're gonna today, we're not gonna see Arc Michael play Sentinel or Cypher, probably because it's gonna be bind unless they go for a Sentinel comp, which I doubt it. Maybe they're gonna try to pick Cypher here, but who knows, man. But bind is gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And going back again to what you said about map control and Kinetics giving up space easily, Bind we'll see instantly if they've improved on their map control and space control, because Bind is very control centered. That's a very control centered map where if you give up space, you kind of just lose the round immediately, because the person who wins on bind is the one that gets as much space, as much control everywhere around the map. So it's going to be very interesting to see kinetics and if they've improved or not here on bind, and it'll become clear very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like bind is gonna be interesting, but the second map is gonna be Lotus, and Lotus is also very control heavy in the sense that you have three sites. You wanna just get as much intel, as much info about where the players are at, and so it's gonna be interesting to see if both teams are going to be able to keep up on such a difficult map. But without further ado, now we're going to start the game and go to the agents. Like, let's see what comps we're going to see on Bind today.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm very excited to see the comps, especially from kinetics, because they will need as much space as they can get here. And we're looking at a pretty standard comp. I mean, Viper, Brim. Yeah, and we are seeing a Yoru come out from Blue Moon, perhaps, with the hover there.
I
Kind
mean,
of a
I would
100 feet
expect Arc
over.
Michael to be the person to play Cypher here, but honestly, I've been loving how Arc Michael has been playing generally. So I wonder what we're gonna see from him today because Revenant could also be interesting to see. But Arc Michael is just switching around. We're not sure what they're gonna play here for now. I mean, with the comp from KineTiX, this is the same comp they used. And honestly, it's just the standard comp. We've seen this a lot. And, I don't really like the Sky pick over the Gecko pick, but I still think it's good. And, to lock in Fade on both teams, very wise. I would say that's the best recon initiator for this. And otherwise, I mean, obviously Raze and obviously Viper is probably also gonna be a pick, unless Archmichael goes for Harbor here, but he just seems to be hovering over different agents.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm very interested to see what Arc Michael will go with here. He has a wide variety, and it does look like he's gonna go with the Brim. Interesting, interesting. So they are going to, yeah, they're gonna be running Brim, Fate, Breach, Raze, and Cypher. Interesting comp from Blue Moon. And while we wait for everyone to load in here, let's review these comps and see how how we can predict what's gonna happen here. What do you think we'll see coming out of Blue Moon here with their Sentinel comp?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, the Sentinel comp, as always, it's gonna be interesting to see because this always leads to one side being much more open for the other team. And so, I mean, less space is being taken on the main side of the map. So that means that, for example, if we're gonna see um, the Cypher staying on B, that means that B long and B hook are probably gonna be left out, and it's gonna be interesting to see what the players are gonna do here.
Yeah, I mean, and with 3 seconds to go until the pistol round, we are beginning this series. And Blue Moon looking at an A hit. The Haunt spots A's here, and he is forced to back off with the Viper Molly. It does bait out one TP, but Ice here gets a pick and does get spotted by the Haunt. Looking at a second on Arc Michael, but unfortunately, he can only knock him down a little bit of health. And this will allow Blue Moon to continue into sight. Meanwhile, the rest of KineTiX will have to pull a rotate here. Level already here. 3 players from KineTiX, and unfortunately, him just has to go the long way around. Ace gets a nice kill on Levo there. Looking to follow up with Rango, but can't just quite catch him. They are looking to retake from Heaven here. Arc Michael's still very low, mind you. Ace goes down. Looking at a second on Burlex. He does get traded out.
One enemy remains.
Enigmatic takes down Rango, and it's now just... Now it's all up to him, but he can't take down 2 players at once. I mean, Arc Michael was there for the trade, and that is just unfortunate for KineTiX there. It looked like a very successful retake, but they just couldn't quite finish it.
One enemy remains.
Yeah, they definitely waited a long time on Heaven there because the Brim Smoke was just stuck there, and that just made it so the push just didn't come through as fast as they wanted, and so they just had a lot of time pressure on them. So that meant that it was just difficult for them to do anything at that point.
Yeah, and we are seeing a full eco coming out here from the side of KineTiX. They're just gonna give up this space, it seems like. Creature does get spotted by the the Prowler. He's coming into sight and does try and get some damage on Creature, and finally gets the kill after 3 shots. And they are going to get the spike down. Levo goes down. That is 2v5 already, unfortunately for KineTiX. And they do have major control over sight. Rango goes down, and Ice goes down as well in hookah there with a very clean Bucky shot there from Ace. That is flawless for Blue Moon there, and that is their second round on the board.
Yeah, I mean, not very surprising considering the fact that, in such a difficult spot that, they were, and then facing an anti-eco is always difficult, and, I don't blame them for losing there. I don't think they got anyone right, and
Yeah,
that just meant that, they didn't really get any weapons of them, so that means that their bonus is gonna be pretty strong here.
Yeah, but I mean, we do have a lot of guns here. 4 Vandals and a Phantom on the side of KineTiX. So let's see what they can do here. Ace does get into Lamps here, and he will fight Ice. Raze v Raze. Rango backing him up. Unfortunately, Ace does get the kill on Rango, and Ice tries to push him, and Ace gets his second and picks up that Vandal. And gets his third in the form of Levo, who wasn't even paying attention to him, unfortunately. It's just him and Creature. Ace knows there's someone here, and just the shots can't quite connect. It is unfortunate. And Creature just pushes in blindly, gets taken down by Arc Michael, and him gets the trade, but it's not going to do much. Burlex just sprays him down with the Spectre there. And I mean, that's the 3rd round on the board already for Blue Moon. What do you think's going on here with KineTiX? I mean, they had 5 guns there and just couldn't quite make use of them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just very confused. I feel like giving Ace so much space just meant that it was pretty damn easy for him to just get that 3K secured, and so at that point, you just couldn't really do any more, much more. It was a 2v4, I believe, and you know, even with the Vandals, Ace was just popping off at the beginning, and the round was basically done at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing the showstopper come out from A's, and it does take down Ice. Raze v Raze won again by A's there. Rango also goes down to the Bucky. Already 3v4 with Arc Michael going down early there. And Revenant just swings, gets the kill on Levo fairly easily. Him with just a Sheriff. Can't do much against the unstoppable force that A's is with that Bucky. Getting his 3rd already. Creature now alone with just a Stinger. With 4 opponents. And he does get Enigmatic, but Revenant just gets that kill, gets that trade. And that is the 4th round already for Blue Moon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just watching this game so far, it seems like it's been really dominant for KineTiX. Sorry, not for KineTiX, it's actually dominant for Blue Moon. And so, I mean, you know, as much as we're seeing attempts of the players trying to take some of that space, or trying at least to fight for it, they just aren't very efficient. I mean, that execute on 2A was just lightning speed, and so it was just difficult for the defenders to do much.
Yeah, we see Blue Moon getting space here very easily, very shortly after fighting it. Like, as you can see here, you can just see Creature trying to back off from Hookah already. I mean, that's just not how KineTiX should be going about this, I feel like. It is a 4v4. Enigmatic looking to take some more space. Brulex does get into the teleporter there. Ready for a TP in the case that one comes. Him and Ice, the lone defenders of B. And Revenant does bring out the Neural Theft, which will reveal Ice and him on site. Which means they know they have numbers advantage. They can confidently just push onto site and get that spike down. Brulex hit low, but he will spray through into elbow and not find anyone. But Enigmatic does get a kill on Ice. Him trades him out. The rest of KineTiX has come to B to help out. Levo gets a nice kill on Revenant. Rango follows it up with another kill on Arc Michael. And it's now Burlex just alone in Garden, trying to fight him here. Gets flashed. Not fully. He is aware that there's some others on his right while trying to fight him, and it's just too much of a multitask. The spike never actually went down. And that allows KineTiX to get a nice, clean win of that round. Now 4-1 in the favor of Blue Moon still, but KineTiX are on the board.
Yeah, I mean, pretty damn important for them because, like, so far, KineTiX have just shown really, really good plays, but they just had either the wrong timings, they got picked off too early, or the execute was just too strong. So finally being able to see that good retake, killing a few players before the round. I mean, we're gonna see the ult come out here, and Levo is just gonna die.
Not out there, unfortunately. Ice gets spotted by the Hans. I mean, and he does get the kill on Ace, finally winning that Raze versus Raze duel. And Blue Moon do have sight, and the spike will go down. That is unfortunate for the side of KineTiX, but they do still have 4 players that they can very valuably retake with. Creature does try and flank them, but unfortunately Burlex he's in the know, and he just gets that. But Ice getting his 4th, looking at a potential ace here. He doesn't know where Enigmatic is though, and the breach ult does go down. And he just peeks out too early, but Rango is there for the trade, and KTX will get this defuse.
I mean, seems like Ice is stepping up, and it shows because this is the second round one for KineTiX, and they're slowly taking back what we said about them. Like, honestly, they're building their reputation back up because right now, as much as we talked about them not holding side control or generally map control in the previous matches, right now they're starting to step up and actually fight for this control. Like, look, we're gonna see that two of the players are gonna be just waiting to take off this B buff, A buff space, and it means that they might have a brawl, but that's still gonna be good for them because they need to fight, they need to take that space. So let's see if they're gonna be able to.
Yeah, ArcMichael seems to be loosely aware that there might be someone here spraying just as a precaution. And they do now know that Rango is here. And he is hit extremely low. We're just playing very quietly here. Blue Moon looking to just get as much space as they can, and they do feel confident that they could get some space on A, judging by how Revenant is slowly bringing it over to A. But they do get the calm that the Fade ult is going out here on B, so they look to follow it up with just a plant here. And Rango does go down to the Raze nade, unfortunately. Creature getting trigger happy there, but it does manage to scare ArcMichael off there. They will continue their B hit.
30 seconds left.
Cornering Levo here. And he just can't do much there against two.
Breach killed. My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, honestly, like, watching these plays, it just makes me wonder whether KineTiX are making a mistake or is just Blue Moon so good with how they have been playing this. Because honestly, both teams have been trying their best. I just feel like right now we're just missing the impact from mainly Levo and Creature. They have had some very good opportunities, but right now they're going 1-6 and 3-7. I feel like if they step up on their team, this could lead to a much better situation for their team.
Yeah, perhaps. And we are looking at another B hit from Blue Moon, but Creature does bring out the Viper's Pit. And is Will Nade in here? They do know that him is up here, and he is spotted by the Haunt, which allows Ace to just use his Judge to get that kill. They will back off. They don't want to fight inside this Viper's Pit, which is understandable. Rango gets away with not being stunned here, and he just continues to sit here with his Bucky. He backs off into Lamps. Tries to get some damage or a kill on Enigmatic, but just fails miserably. There is a lot of fights going on in the smokes here. Ice does get the kill on A's there, and ArcMichael unfortunately does trade it out. And Levo, unfortunately, the shots can't connect for him. It's now all up to Creature with this Judge. He was on B with that Viper's Pit, and it just didn't have much impact.
Yep, at this point he just seems to go in for outro frags, I think. When you have a Judge, what can you do?
He's just not aware that Enigmatic is there, allowing him to get a very easy kill there. 6-2 for Blue Moon now, and it's looking sadder and sadder for the side of KTX. No matter how much impact they're having, it's just taken back and stolen by Blue Moon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, Blue Moon have been playing this really well, and it makes me wonder whether KTX might just be better on attack, because, their comp just seems to, you have double controller, which should be easy to take space with, but I mean, what we're gonna see here this round is gonna be very important, so we have to see some good plays.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of B aggression. Him does go down, unfortunately. A's plucking Creature down, swooping down on him like a bird. Does get that trade though on A's. ArcMichael will get the spike down here for the side of Blue Moon. Meanwhile, the rest of KTX here has to go through Hall. It's very likely that they could just be sprayed down through the smoke. Prowler does go out. spots, I think, enigmatic there. Relax does take down Ice.
Player standing.
Evo gets 1 kill, but does not know where the rest are. Which just lets... That does just let Blue Moon play numbers and win the round with a clean 3v1.
Yep, I mean, it's a rough spot to be in for KineTiX right now. They can barely scrap a half buy, and we're gonna see a timeout come out here from the side of KineTiX, which I think is honestly reasonable, and I fully support the idea right now.
Yeah, that is very justified. I mean, they need it. They need any hope they can get here at getting a 7-5 or 8-4 half. I mean, it would be very, very tragic if we saw a 10-2 come out here for the side of Blue Moon. And I think me and other KTX fans, we wouldn't be able to live down the 10-2 there. But I mean, realistically, what can they do here? Blue Moon's play has been extremely strong here, and I mean, maybe my KTX jersey will turn into a Blue Moon jersey overnight.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm just watching this game and I'm thinking what's going wrong, and I feel like it's the individual impact right now because on I mean both individual impact and just the lack of stuff that's happening on their defense half. This is exactly the same thing that we saw happen during one of the matches. Um, I don't remember exactly who it was. I believe it was either No Mercy or it was. I think it was No Mercy. But whatever that matchup was, they just weren't taking the space, and we're seeing this again. I mean, Creator just completely locks himself out of B short right here, not getting any control or info.
Yeah, and I mean, I bet a lot of us there are just we're screaming at the stream, take that space, Creature, take that space, and they will realize on their own eventually, but they have taken a lot of space on A. A's unfortunately gets a kill on Ice there, but Rango's there to trade it out. And Burlex and Enigmatic just taking all that space alone. Unfortunately, KTX falling down on A. Creature and him have to do this on their own. 2v4. It is very likely, but how likely exactly is it?
I mean, watching this right now in the situation where Arc Michael just gonna get 2 and finish off the round just like that, it just shows how dominant we've seen Blue Moon be here. I mean, as I said, Arc Michael has been outstanding in the past few series, and he just keeps just showing us why he's so good. He's just been getting those kills, getting this impact, getting this space, and genuinely also Ace has been outstanding. And I feel like him going 15-7 with the combination of Arc Michael going 10-4, just both the entries and the space control happening on like different agents, different roles, but this impact is just the reason that Blue Moon are winning right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I bet KineTiX are just kicking themselves in the foot for like absolutely every single mistake they've been making here. Creature just continues to play the same position here, not knowing that it just won't work. I mean, they're not gonna push this. They know Creature is here at this point. And A's looking to send that boombot through. Creature does back off very quickly though, looking to play from that cubby there. And the Brim ult does go out. They do know he's gonna be there. And it does take down Creature. Burlex taking down him, and now B site is completely open. Arcmichael gets the spike down for the side of Blue Moon. Rango here taking fights alone. Oh, unfortunately, can't help him out there. Enigmatic very low, but the rest of Blue Moon alive and kicking. And KTX, they're just saying, we don't want to fight this. This is too many people. They're backing off.
I mean, we're gonna see them try to fight for this. They're gonna try to find the remaining players. They're gonna scout for them, trying to get the last guns out of their hands. But are they gonna be able to do it? Because I mean, both Rango and Levo are just so far away that at this point, I mean, Ace is gonna catch up and he's gonna get Levo, but Rango is gonna stay alive. Luckily, yep, he does stay alive, and so. It's looking like a 10-2, exactly what we weren't hoping for there. it's just happening right now. We were not hoping for a 10 to have, but with how KineTiX has been playing, it might look like a 10 to have, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, KineTiX's econ here, it's in shambles to say the least. And with just a Vandal, two Phantoms, a Judge, and a Guardian, how are they gonna fight off this 5 Heavy Shield, 5 Vandal play from Blue Moon here? I mean, Blue Moon are just way ahead with their money, and can they do much here to stop Blue Moon from completely rolling over them? Creature says no, he just falls to A's. Ice does bring out the showstopper though, gets unfortunately no damage on A's there. He moves over, A's with the counter showstopper, taking down Ice. Levo also falls to Enigmatic, and Rango playing from the same position, able to get one pick this time, but Arcmichael there to trade it out. And the Breach ult going out. Him does not get actually hit by it. The flash does go out though. Him gets a nice lucky kill, and they are going to try and knife him. Him gets his second. But Revenant finally ends his life there. I mean, that's a 10-2 for Blue Moon. And it's just not looking good for KTX here. They're not learning from their mistakes, and it's starting to look darker and darker by the minute. And I suppose we'll just find out how things are going to play out in the second half. And we are going to go on a short break here until the second half begins. And I mean, I'm just hoping KineTiX are going to get their stuff together here and perhaps shoot Blue Moon the way they want to finally, because I mean, we saw their creature failing to Blue Moon weren't playing into Creature's hands there several times into Hookah. They knew what he was planning, and it was just unfortunate. So let's see if KineTiX can get plays that pay off here.
And we are back on map 1, half 2, and it's just, I mean, Munch, we've talked about this already. How can KineTiX just improve from this?
They need space desperately, and I mean, especially now that they're on the attack half, space is the most valuable thing they can get. They need space to get that spike down. We can see where they're already backing off here. They're not. They're giving up that space. Him does get A's though. That is numbers advantage already. And he will be healed by him. And Ice will be healed by him, I mean. Michael, you're watching showers. Smokes do go down from the side of KTX. He's pushing further and further in. Spike carrier will be killed though. And Ice will be taken down by Revenant as well. Rango getting enigmatic there in lamps and will take the spike. He, Levo, and Creature will be looking to get out here. I mean, Creature does fall to Michael, unfortunately. So now it's just him and Levo. Well, Rango and Levo. I mean him when I mean Rango when I say him, not the player him. Rango does get that incredible Brim duel on Michael, taking him down. It is 2v2 now.
30 seconds left.
Spike planted.
And the cam
Last player
will get a
standing.
dart out on Rango, and that is an unfortunate death from Levo there. They know where Rango is. They can just fight this as much as they want to. The Molly will go out.
Remaining.
Right
And
here.
does take down Revenant. And Burlex looking to take a fight here. And he does know that Rango has wrapped around. He didn't spot him in long. And he does get that nice headshot on Rango.
Molly.
One enemy remaining.
That's right here.
Yeah, honestly, just watching this just hurt. As a person that really enjoys the way KineTiX plays on other maps, where space control is not as important, just right now on Bind and on Lotus, I'm also pretty worried because it's gonna be rough for all of the players to just be able to take this space right now because they're not doing it. Actually, quite the opposite is happening. We're seeing just space being taken by the defenders, and we saw that immediately. So I mean, if KineTiX keep up if they keep up just losing all of the space, like right here to the Prowler, if they're just gonna keep up losing the space, it's gonna be difficult for them.
Yeah, and I mean, they have to catch on soon or else they're gonna lose this map and Lotus as well. Enigmatic has to face a 4v1 here, and he's just gonna back off. He knows he can't win that with just a Marshall. They now know where he went. Through the Sky Flash. He's very low here, and fortunately, Enigmatic gets a nice shot on Ice there. He will fall. Levo takes down Burlex though. Rango will follow up the Enigmatic kill, finally taking him down.
One enemy remaining.
And Michael, it's a nice laser kill on Levo. Rango hit low by that Bucky from A's. We'll take this fight. Rango trying to fight him off with a stinger. We're seeing a bit of BMing there from A's, but I mean, perhaps it's meant out of good heart. Maybe, I don't know. Nobody knows, but I mean, in this case, to be honest, from Blue Moon it is justified. They do have a 10-round lead. It is seeming very easy for them. This 10-round lead. We are heading into map point here already for Blue Moon. It's looking sadder and sadder as the rounds go by for KineTiX, and I mean, this is their final chance to make something work. They do take down A's, luckily, because A's does not know where they are. They don't know where Enigmatic is, though. Enigmatic hit a little bit from that raised A, but not enough. Nothing substantial. Still don't know he's here in Cubby. And the Prowler finally spots him. They now know he's here. He's not going to peek this. Ice will peek this, and he does get that kill. Now a 4v3 in the favor of KineTiX. They have this numbers advantage. Now Revenant knows this is a B hit. He's going to try his best to defend on his own while the rest of Blue Moon moves over to B. Revenant trying to fight here, but unfortunately there's just too many people on site. Him getting him easily.
Planted. Last
Verlex
player
does
standing.
take down Ice, but Levo trades him out. Nice and easy. 3v1 now in the favor of KTX. Unfortunately, him does go down. With Rango low, he can't do much. That's a 3k for Arc Michael already. And he does know where the last is, using that ult. And that is incredible fashion to win map 1 in. Incredibly played from Blue Moon. And that is a 4k for Arc Michael on low HP. And I mean, GG, well played for the side of Blue Moon and KineTiX. And it just seems Blue Moon just they stayed one step ahead throughout that whole game. And I mean, truly, what more could we have seen there from Blue Moon? That was utter
I mean,
dominance.
yeah. I feel like also we saw in the last round right there, you saw where I believe it was Rango and Levo were stacked up on Garden. You just saw just Rango trying to go along without taking a step, but he just ended up giving Arcmichael that 1v1, and that's exactly what he wanted to have in a 1v2. So I mean, well played from Arcmichael. As I've said, he's been great. A's going 2010 in this match, double positive, has also been doing really well, and genuinely a lot of impact from all of the every single one of the Blue Moon players has just been playing really well. I mean, Ice has just been trying to get some kills. He went 10-15, unfortunately, and honestly, I feel like the lack of map space being taken and the lack of kills just really sucked in that, and that's kind of the reason that they lost. But we're gonna shortly go through a break while we wait for map 2, and let's see if KineTiX are gonna be able to bring back and equalize the map score to 1-1.